Alright, so in this example we want to simplify powers of I. So I'm going to do this and a few others to see how it works. So we have I to the 86. Okay, so we know that I squared equals negative 1. So basically our goal is to rewrite this exponent so I have an I squared in there. Okay, so the way I can rewrite this so I have an I squared, I'm going to write it as I to the 2 to the 43, right? Because 86 is 2 times 43. The reason I do that is because now I can replace I squared by negative 1. Right, so this is going to be negative 1 to the 43rd power. Well, negative 1 to the 43rd power means negative 1 times negative 1. There are 43 of them. 43 negative 1s that I'm going to multiply together. And the answer would just be negative 1. Because 1 times 1 times 1 times 1, no matter how many you have, is 1. And because you have an odd number of negative signs, you get negative 1. All right. Let's do another example. Let's say I have I to the 120. Right? Same deal. You do I squared to the 60. Replace the I squared by negative 1 to the 60. Now I have 60 negative ones that I'm multiplying. Because there's an even number of them, you get positive 1. Right? Let's look at a couple of other examples. Let's try some odd powers. Let's say I have I to the 27. Okay? So now the problem is that 27 is, I can't do 2 times something. So I'm going to pull out one of the i's. I'm going to say this is I times I to the 26. Right? See where I'm going? I have I, then I to the 26 is I squared to the 13. The I squared gets replaced with negative 1 to the 13. This is odd power, so negative 1 to the 13 is negative 1. And I times negative 1 is negative I. Alright, let's do one more. So I have I to the 49. So odd number, you're going to separate, you're going to have I times I to the 48. Then rewrite the I to the 48 as I squared to the 24. Right, and then we have negative 1 to the 24. And this is positive 1, so this just gives me I. Okay, good. So this kind of covers the full set of types of problems that you can get. So if your powers are even, you end up either with a 1 or a negative 1. It's a positive 1 if this divides by 4, and if it's a negative 1 if this is even but doesn't divide by 4. If you have odd powers, you're going to end up with either positive I or negative I. And those are the only possible solutions. All right?